The tumbadora is from Cuba. It's a result of African and Cuban influences. Before 1886, slaves in Cuba were mostly from the Bantu-speaking nations in the Conga in Africa. Slavery was abolished in 1886, and the slaves moved from plantations in the countrysides to Havana and Matanzas. However, jobs were scarce here due to all the people coming to the cities to look for work. So the people began to live in the outskirts of town in places called solares, which were essentially slums. The Bantu people had makuta and yuca drums. The makuta drums were religious and they were played in closed places, and the yuca drums were secular and heard by anyone in the solares. So the yuca influenced rumba, which is a folkloric style of music, and the makuta looks more like the tumbadora. The Lukumi people were also influencers of the conga, or the tumbadora. The Lukumi people were descendants of Yoruba people from Nigeria. They had the bata drum, which was played in quiet closed ceremonies, and the bembe, which was less sacred and not restricted to the uninitiated people. The bembe was more festive, and its construction looked exactly like the tumbadora, but smaller. In 1898 to 1902, Cuba was occupied by the United States, and they banned African drums. So in order to not lose their culture, the people changed small aspects of the drum to make it not African, such as only making it from one block of wood, which was different than how it was traditionally made. They were able to maintain their African culture through this by keeping the same shape, the same tuning, the same sound, etc. The U.S. has also helped the technology to advance. For example, they began making the drums out of fiberglass, which makes the drum louder and stronger. This happened in 1949. When the U.S. began their embargo on Cuba in 1959, we had to begin creating the drum differently so that we could have the drums here. And one example of how it was created differently was using a synthetic head rather than skin.